Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that this video finds you well wherever you're watching us from. I have been following up a story on the famous Arror Kimwarer multi-purpose dam project. When I mention that, you know what I mean. This is a case that became a thorn in the flesh to William Ruto back then when he was deputy president under his boss Uhuru Kenyatta. And it formed the basis of their altercation and one of the reasons why they even went separate ways. Now, this case also led to the ouster of former Treasury boss Mr. Henry Rotich, who was implicated among other government officials who are perceived to be William Ruto allies. Kindly follow this story to the end, because by the end of it, I will tell you why I believe that power is sweet. I was following this story and I came up with the conclusion that power is sweet, and that is the reason why people tend to do everything to acquire power, to maintain power. Because courtesy of power, people who had been implicated are now being vindicated and they are walking scot-free. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. You can also share the videos. Now, the key witness in this case is called Isaac Mbugua. Mr. Isaac Mbugua is one of the members of the 7-member Tender Evaluation Committee that plays a very significant role in the process of tender acquisition. Now, Mr. Isaac Mbugua recanted all of the statements that he had made against those who have been accused. This story is also in the Star newspaper, and it is recorded that witness recants testimony in Arror Kimwarer graft case. A witness in the 63 billion Kenya shillings Arror and Kimwarer multi-purpose dams graft case on Wednesday recanted his testimony, admitting before a magistrate that there were lapses on the side of the Tender Evaluation Committee. Remember, I told you he is among one of the members of the Tender Evaluation Committee. So this guy decided to implicate the committee that he sat on, thereby vindicating the people who have been accused. In a nutshell, this is what Mr. Mbugua is saying. Mr. Mbugua is saying that as a member of that committee, he remembers very well, before he recanted his story, this is the statement that he made, that he remembers very well that the contract, the Kimwarer Arror multi-purpose contract, was awarded to a company that they did not advise to be given. And he says that this company was, the contract was awarded to an Italian firm called CMC di Ravina Limited. And this, he says, went against the recommendation and advice of the Tender Evaluation Committee, which had recommended that the tender be given to a company called Sino Hydro. So that is the first statement that he made. And he was alluding to some allegations that some people decided to bypass them because they wanted to take certain amount of money. It was a corrupt deal. The second thing that he said was that this company, the Italian company called the CMC di Ravina, did not indicate that it will be acting on a joint venture. Because I understand that when you are bidding for a tender, if you will be working on a solo basis, you must indicate. But when you want to work on a joint venture where you are cooperating with the other companies and you come together for that particular purpose, you must also indicate. So Mr. Isaac Mbugua said that this company did not indicate that it will be working on a joint company where they will be working with the other group of companies. Now, on Wednesday, as the case continued, he was being cross-examined by the lawyers that represent the accused, people like the former Treasury boss. And he said, contrary to what he had alluded to earlier, that number one, this company had indicated that they will be working on a joint venture, because one of the reasons why there were a lot of suspicion is that this company changed its name. This was a South African company, and later it was realized that it was now going to act with work with other companies. Now, what shocked me was this, and I want us to read together. He was told he was being cross-examined by the lawyers, and he went on and admitted that they failed. This is what he said. I won't call it failure, but that was a lapse on our part as the Tender Evaluation Committee. For now, I realized that the venture was joint, and I recant the contents of that paragraph. And you see the content of the paragraph that is talking about forms the basis of the accusations. This is what I'm telling you, that I read this story and I knew power is so sweet. This man, Isaac Mbugua, has been compromised. Because how comes all of a sudden he wants to vindicate someone? And this is not the first time we see people being vindicated in the Ruto administration. I remember recently, William Ruto pardoned the former KEMRI, the Kenya Medical Research Institute, MD, Mr. David Koech. Mr. David Koech had been accused, and I think he was jailed for some years. And William Ruto, under the presidential powers, decided to pick on Mr. David Koech, and David Koech was pardoned and is now a free man. All the billions of shillings that he was accused of acquiring have gone to the drains. And I'm not here to judge anyone. I remember Mr. Humphrey Kariuki, the owner of the Fairmont Hotel, the rich tycoon, who, according to him, was being frustrated by the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. At some point, he was accused of evading taxes, and his liquor company was locked, and it was under the seal of the taxman, waiting for a determination. But when William Ruto arrived, I call it arriving in power, he was vindicated, I think, together with the other people like Kiroshe. I saw the former Sirisia member of parliament, he's the Sirisia member of parliament, who had been jailed, and he decided that he contacts William Ruto, and now he's a free man. I could go on and on. The deputy president had other cases leveled against him, land cases, corruption cases, people like Aisha Jumwa. But they said they were targeted because of their closeness and inclination with William Samoei Ruto. And this is why I'm telling you that it's really very suspicious that people like Henry Rotich, all those people who are accused to conniving and wanted to deprive Kenyans the exchequer of 63 billion shillings. There is a vector pointing towards their freedom. Because if the witness, a member of a Tender Evaluation Committee, has come out and is saying that he recants the main paragraph, the contents which were very weighty, those are the weighty part of it that would have, rendered the accused to be jailed. What does it tell you? If what we have seen before is anything to go by, I'm telling you, these people will be vindicated. And their timing of vindication is very paramount. William Ruto is about to either reshuffle his cabinet or he's about to recall all the ambassadors. And these people will be given jobs because most of them are his closest allies. Some people argue that most of them are his tribesmen. You look at David Koech, you look at Henry Rotich, among other people. As long as you are a friend to William Ruto, you must be free. I want to put a disclaimer. If it is true that the former president was, frustrating some people because of their closeness with William Ruto, I don't know. William Ruto should take that opportunity to, stop it so that he does not perpetuate the idea of frustrating others who do not read from the same page with you, who do not align to your political ideologies, the way he's shooting people on the streets. But if at all, these are people who are being vindicated, but they were corrupt, they swallowed taxpayers' money, then it is very unfortunate. Because if William Ruto will continue to perpetuate corruption, to condone corrupt deals, to condone corrupt leaders, then I can assure you that Kenya is going to sink into the deepest economic turmoil that we will never be able to come out of. And this is why I was telling you that power is so sweet. Because when you dine and sleep with the mighty, you are a free man despite all the burden that you carry on your shoulder. The burden and the ghost of Kimwarer Arror is back, but this time round, William Ruto is slaying it. Unlike the other time when it almost gave William Ruto sleepless nights, Kenya is going to lose over 63 billion Kenya shillings. Power is so sweet.